Alright, today we have a 1921 Dodge, and it's got an original factory 12-volt charging system and a giant 12-volt starter here. And this is your radiator cap when you're driving down the road, and it's like pre-gauges on the dash. It's got a little temp gauge in here. It's got a little thermometer, so you can see when you're in the danger zone if it gets too hot or if it needs more water. All the accessories on the front of the motor. They run a shaft down the side of the motor that runs through probably a gear set in here, and then it runs water pump, shaft drive to the distributor, and it runs all down the side of the drive. It runs it down the side of the motor. It runs power to a shaft that turns the water pump, which looks like a small turbocharger right here, and then it runs another jack shaft out of the water pump down the side of the block to the distributor, which is all gear driven, and you got your coil in the back here, and it's just a very interesting way of doing it. What's really neat, instead of a dipstick, you have a bobber that shows the oil level. You've got an updraft carburetor that right here, and it's got these floats, and so when it fills the bowl all the way, it's like any carburetor or like a toilet somewhat. It'll have this float that bobs in there, and it'll take and it'll close off the passage once it fills up. But it's a neat setup. It's a old school version of today's. It's even got the old band brakes like a buggy. It's instead of the drum that expands into, it's got a band, a strap that wraps around it and squeezes around the drum. Little wagon wheels, and instead of changing the whole rim and tire out, you just change this portion of the rim onto the wooden spoked wheel. It's kind of neat. Yeah, everything works. We got a video of I turned it over here and brakes work.
That's fair.
It's got